Look, I can't tell you what to do with your money, but I can tell you, from the perspective of history and data science, the best way to invest money. I can show you what I do, and with the Miller Momentum strategy, I invest globally in a proportional manner across all free markets, because that's simply the best way to do it. But haven't US only investors been making absolute bank over the past decade compared to global investors? Sure, absolutely they have. And people who've put all their eggs in the basket of semiconductor ETFs, which often include a hefty helping of international stocks, by the way, have been leaving us all in the dust. For that matter, folks who have only been hoovering up Bitcoin since 2012 are probably laughing at all of us fiat currency wage slaves from their gold-plated mega luxury yachts. At least, they're laughing at us for now. But the world has an uncanny way of always changing. Up until about 2012, the global investor, for example, was the clear winner. As international and domestic stocks rotate in and out of favor, US and global allocation strategies have crisscrossed again and again, with each taking turns leading about by a decade or so, but then they flip right back. By going US only, just because it has recently outperformed the global index, you're picking stocks, but on a larger level. It's not as bad and is much more diversified than, say, putting everything in tech or semiconductors, but let's be clear, it's still performance chasing. Ask yourself, are you investing or gambling? Performance chasing, or more formally, outcome bias as it's known. It's the subtle siren song that draws you back into the casino of stock picking again and again. Listen, even Jack Bogle struggled with this and advocated a US-only equity strategy despite Vanguard and all his disciples and students breaking ranks and including international investments in their lineups. I admit, it's super tempting in hindsight to look back and conclude that between two people who started investing in the Vanguard Total US Stock Market Index Fund and the Vanguard Total World Index Fund, respectively, in 1994, it's really tempting to conclude that US-only investor made the better decision, simply because that person's bank account has more money now. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Pose a hypothetical. Bob decided to skip work today with no paid time off left and instead spent his whole paycheck on lotto tickets. But he won $1 million and went and got drunk to celebrate. Sue, boring as she is, dropped off her kids, went to work, and then volunteered at a fall festival with her church. Who made the better decisions? Who's most likely to have consistent, positive results and experiences over the long run? Bob or Sue? I know that example is a bit extreme, but returning to our earlier example of the US only and global investors who started saving in 1994, you would have been tempted to conclude that the global investor, and not the US only one, had made the best decision if you were asked about it back in 2012. And by as early as 2030, who knows? The lead may have flipped yet again. To be clear, I don't think either person in the hypothetical of the two investors in 1994 is making a really bad decision, like Bob, who blew his paycheck on lotto tickets and just got lucky. But there's a hierarchy of good decisions, and people can also make good decisions for bad reasons. Are you confident that over the next 30 years, U.S. gross domestic product, sorry about that, tongue-tied this evening, U.S. GDP, we'll just go with the abbreviation, will continue to grow faster than the rest of the world? Are you confident that our country's share of the global stock market will remain the same or grow? and that the US dollar will consistently be the strongest currency in the world. How do you know? That hasn't been the case always over the past 60 years or over most rolling 30-year windows, despite the US government's global dominance. Over the past century, in fact, an Australia-only portfolio would be in the lead right now. But if your crystal ball tells you the US will win, or you have access to some secret knowledge that mere mortal retail investors can only envy, go for it. Follow the vibes. I, on the other hand, will follow the data. And if you'd like to follow the data as well, please click that subscribe button, and join the Miller Momentum community. We're just getting launched, and I've got exciting things to share with you all. This is not, of course, financial advice. Like I opened the video with, I can't tell you how to invest your money. I don't know your situation, but I can give you financial education so that you can make informed decisions in consultation with your loved ones and certified professionals. So I will catch you later.